Hey, welcome back. In the last video, we added API key auth to Karan's API. That works well when you control who has the key. But what happens when his RAG API has real users, each with their own sessions, their own documents, their own query history? A single shared API key can't tell you which user is making the request. That's where JWT come in. In this video, we cover what a JWT is, how the auth flow works, and how FastAPI reads a token to identify the user. Let's get into it. Look at the top panel on screen. API key auth answers one question. Is this caller allowed? That's it. But look at what multi-user AI backends actually need. The three check marks on the right. Which user is making this request? Show them only their own data. Give different users different access levels. A shared key can't do any of that. Everyone looks the same. The three cards at the bottom make this concrete. ARAG API with 100 users where each user sees only their own documents. A team product where admins can delete but members can only query. A multi-tenant system where company A's data never leaks to company B. JWT solve all three by carrying the user's identity inside the token itself. JWT stands for JSON Web Token. A JWT is a string with three parts separated by dots. Look at the diagram. The first part, the header, tells you the algorithm used to sign the token. The second part, the payload, is the useful bit. It carries user data, ID, email, role, and expiry. The third part, the signature, is a cryptographic hash generated with a secret key. Here's why this matters. Anyone can read the payload, but nobody can modify it without invalidating the signature. Look at the flow diagram at the bottom. The client sends the JWT to your API. Your API verifies the signature. Valid, the payload is trusted. Invalid, the token is rejected. If someone tampered with the payload, the signature won't match. Here's the full flow. Step 1. The user logs in. They send their credentials to an auth provider. This could be Auth0, Supabase, Firebase Auth, or any other service. Karan's FastAPI never sees the password. Step 2. The auth provider verifies the credentials and issues a JWT containing the user's ID, email, role, and an expiry time. Step 3. The front end receives this token and stores it. Every subsequent request to Karan's API includes the token in the authorization header as a bearer token. Look at the example header. Step 4. Karan's FastAPI receives the token, verifies the signature, and reads the user's identity from the payload. The request is processed based on who the user is. Karan's API is a consumer of the auth system, not the owner of it. That separation is the right design. Look at the code on the right. OAuth2. Password bearer handles extracting the bearer token from the authorization header automatically. You don't pass the header yourself. The function is get_current_user. It takes the token string and decodes it using jwt.decode with the jwt_secret from settings and HS256 as the algorithm. It then reads user_ID from the subclaim. Sub is the standard JWT field for subject, which is the user identifier. If the token is missing, expired, or tampered with, JWT error is raised and the function returns a 401. If everything checks out, it returns a dictionary with the user's ID and email. Any endpoint that declares depends open parenthesis get_current_user close parenthesis now has the user's identity available. Look at list_sessions. It doesn't return all sessions. It filters by current_user open bracket quote user_ID quote close bracket. User A only ever sees their own sessions. Look at the ask endpoint. The vector store search uses the user ID to build the collection name. User_open brace current_user open bracket single quote user_ID single quote close bracket close brace. User 123 never gets results from user 456's documents. That's multi-tenant RAG in its simplest form. One API, multiple users, complete data isolation. And because get_current_user is a dependency, every endpoint that needs user identity just declares it. No repeated token parsing, no security logic scattered across functions. Quick recap. A JWT is a signed token that carries user identity. Your FastAPI verifies the signature and reads the user's ID, email, and role from the payload. The auth flow is clean. An auth provider handles login and token issuance. Your API just verifies what it receives. Build get_current_user as a dependency and inject it into any endpoint that needs to know who's calling. Use the user ID to filter database queries and vector store searches. That's the foundation of per user RAG. In the next video, we cover rate limiting and abuse protection. Even with auth in place, a single authenticated user can still overload your API or run up your LLM costs. Rate limiting is how you prevent that. See you there.